What's up, brothers? Guys, have you ever just wanted to blow something up? In game, of course, because anything blowing up outside of the game is probably illegal. If your answer to that question was yes, then do I have the build for you today? Because this build does simply that. It explodes, it electrocutes, it completely dominates the enemy. Now, before we get into the build, 95% of the people that watch my videos are not subscribed. We are making tremendous progress. It used to be 97. So if you're not subbed, smash that sub button just to make sure you don't miss any future uploads. I mean, I'm not kidding, I will dance for you. But a special thanks to everybody that has already subbed. We have already hit 1,000 subscribers and we are well on our way to 2,000. I genuinely mean this when I say I appreciate each and every single one of you guys. Y'all are insane! But I've been having a blast making these videos for y'all, especially this video in particular. This thunder build, lightning build, whatever you want to call it, does absurd amounts of damage. And it's absurd because when you put the enemy in a shock state, they take even more damage. But let's get into the build, shall we? So to start off, we have our drinks and soaks. Of course, we are using the Luong Bomb. And we are going to be pairing that with the Goji Shoots, Breath of Fire, Mount Lean-Tide Seedlings, and the Tiger Relic. Now the weapon we're using is the Storm Flash Luong Staff. This staff has the highest base attack in the game, but it is kind of a double-edged sword. When you're charging a heavy attack, it will put you in a shock state, but when you are in a shock state, every single attack that you deal to the enemy inflicts thunder damage onto them, which will in turn put them into a shock state and make them take more damage. However, you will take more damage as well. But for the armor, we are going to be running the Grey Wolf masks because it does more damage the lower the enemy gets. And of course, we're using the Luong scaled armor. Now, to get even more damage, you can upgrade this armor to mythic quality and your thunder damage will do even more damage. I just don't have the celestial ribbons on this account. I'm pretty poor on this playthrough. But anyways, moving on. We are using the Rat Governor for our spirit because the passive effect is going to increase our thunder damage even more. And on this build, we're using the fan pretty much just for CC because we don't want the enemy to get even one chance to attack us. For the curios, we have the Amber Prayer Beads, the Cat Eye Beads, and we're using 2 Snow Fox brushes because for this build, we do like the transformation. The Bolt Runner. But for the Gourd, Immortal Blessing Gourd, going to give you more attack damage. Now for the foundation page, I would recommend maxing out Staff Spin just because it is so fun to use when the enemy's in a shock state. And I would max out the crit chance and your attack damage and mana. And for the stances, we're going to be using the Smash Dance, of course. Just have at least 20 levels into the Smash Dance. We are also going to use the Ring of Fire. Just upgrade it till you get Raging Flame so you can build focus while you're sitting in the Ring of Fire. And our Cloud Step, of course, is going to be maxed out because this is one of the best spells in the game. Now for your monkeys, go ahead and max those bad boys out. And here's where it gets a little crazy in the transformation page. Put a point into Cold Edge and max out Bolt Runner because it is going to increase your thunder damage. Max out Evergreen, max out Hidden Might, and max out Ferocious Form just to have more damage while you're in your transformation. And for the relics, for the first one, I would recommend Eagle Eye or Keen Insight. For the third relic, In One Breath, vital to this combo. And then for the 6th relic, you're going to want Unified Minds. But that's our build, so let's see this in action. Alright, contestant number 1, we have Yellow Brow. Now, this is Phase 1 Yellow Brow, and I did test this on Phase 2 Yellow Brow, and it completely dominated him, by the way. For some reason, he is like so weak to thunder, but we started off, we used our spirit because the Rat Governor is always going to put the boss into a shock state instantly. And then you Cloud Step, Drink, Pluck of Many, Ring of Fire, charge a 4-point heavy, boom. And then while the boss is staggered, you kind of just want to go in with some light attack combos or a staff spin just to build up focus points. And then we, my god. Y'all, I am telling y'all, this is the most satisfying build to use. When they're in a shock state and you go in with staff spin and there's just lightning particles flying everywhere. Definitely one of the coolest builds that I've come up with. And keep in mind, I'm missing out on a lot of damage because I don't have the Luong armor upgraded to Mythic. Well, yeah, that was pretty fast. So, I guess we're gonna look at the next fight, fighting the chief dude. So, yeah. By the way, like this whole segment is some of the coolest cutscenes in the game. The only questionable part is when you beat Yellowbrow Phase 1 and he's like, I'm gonna put you in my sack, but you know, other than that, it's pretty fire. Especially when you get into the sack and Baji is just fighting the chief. Some of the coolest animations, like 10 out of 10, dude. I mean, this is just the easiest game of the year I think I've ever seen.
This wicked sack is much more vicious than before, nurturing such evilness. Yellowbrow must have woven Wukong's strength into it. That bastard. Join me. Let's fight our way out.
But starting out the fight, we most always use our spirit first, just because it puts them into a shock state instantly. And then here, we're just charging up a heavy, not even necessarily to hit the boss. Because the chief dude, he's kind of weird when you're trying to go in with charged heavies, unless it's with the pillar stance or thrust stance. If you try to use a smash heavy attack on the chief, then he, like 99% of the time, is going to dodge it. So we just charge the heavy to put ourselves into a shock state so that we can start doing more damage. But while the fan is on him, he's going to be perma-staggered, so then it's safe to run in with a charged 4-point heavy attack, and then we're just going to staff spin just because it just looks insane. And does a decent amount of damage, if you did see that. Now, another fun thing with this build is that you don't even have to necessarily do what I do to a T. Like, you can do whatever you want, honestly. Like, from here, I decided to transform into the horse guy just because I felt like it. But you could have Cloud Step, drank, used Pluck of Many, and then just spam them with light attacks, but I kind of wanted to just bring the horse boy out, you know? Like, it's just absurd. This transformation is absolutely absurd and perfect for a Thunder build. Like whoever it was on their development team that was like, let's make this strong ass horse hit like a truck. We're gonna give him a whip, and then we're gonna make it to where his whip transforms into Thor's hammer. They cooked a little too hard with this one, dude. But that's all I'm going to say about it. That's going to be the end of today's video, you guys. I hope y'all enjoyed it. If y'all did, smash that like button. Comment down below what you think. Always subscribe if you're new. Y'all be safe out there. Have some fun. Don't do anything too crazy. And I will catch y'all in the next one. Peace!